Today I've decided to visit my friends from the JSS section, the CBE. Yeah, so let's go. We already discussed long way in terms of themes. If you don't remember, just go back to my channel and click Bridges Without Rivers long way themes and it will show up. Now, it has been long before we discussed this, but I want us to finish Bridges Without Rivers so that we can have an analysis of Last Love for the parts which I've not done or any other story. I wonder why maybe teachers are not going through the other books such as Strange Happenings, Becca's Misfortune, the Tears of Joy, and the rest of the books that are recommended for JSS. However, I will keep analyzing, and in case you need the notes, you are welcome on board. Yeah, so guys, in case you come on again, just chat. Don't focus on the topic so that we don't have diversions to other aspects, like somebody asking, are you married? What's your age? That one you can ask later on another platform or when we are doing a different social aspect. Yeah, so today we are going through Long Way, and I already have given a thumbnail plus the description of my video. So let's stay focused on the analysis of Long Way because I've seen some of my audience asking for that. Welcome on board. I've seen one person there. You can briefly just chat to say hi and where you are. Thank you. So today being a Sunday, we are doing the language use and styles in Long Way, a story that is found in Bridges Without Rivers. This is a very interesting short story book that can enhance reading skills, learning cultural matters from different parts of the world, and as well establishing the literary aspects in a text. Now, we look through language use. The first one we meet is irony. And of course, irony is profound in this story. The first case is on page 47. If you check on page 47, you will see that whenever people prepare to sleep, Camilo would prepare to go out, and he would take a long walk in the night. Can you see that? So that's ironical. We expect people to sleep at night. However, Camilo would not sleep at night. Instead, he would wake up and start walking around. The second ironical situation is when Camilo pursues integrity and professionalism as well as accountability. Of course, we know that such are positive aspects or virtues in the society that should reward anyone. Contrary to expectation, he suffers an economic, social challenge in his life instead, because the benefits of good morals do not show up in his life. It would like teach somebody to be morally degraded. But is that what we are telling you? No. If you believe in integrity, accountability, and professionalism, just go on with it. However, it may be possible that people may fight you. Many people say there is corruption when they are not involved. When they are involved, they just talk about, I did, some projects to enhance myself. People steal. But when they are not part of the stealing gang, they talk about, stealing is bad. However, in this story, we see that Camilo was actually a professional that was trying to be very accountable and apply integrity. It's unfortunate he lost his job, and in the process, he became bankrupt. He lost his family. The wife walked away because he did not have any money. So you see that is an ironical situation. Thank you. Welcome on board. I can see more people coming. Yeah, thank you. Welcome on board. You can chat with me so that I know where you are. And I just say hi to you as we proceed and focus on the topic, that is the stylistic devices in Long Way, which is found in Bridges Without Rivers, a very interesting short story. If you've not read it, please just acquire it and read through. You'll find it fun. Yeah, so the third case of irony in this story is page 45. If you read on page 45, it's ironical that Sally, who walked out on Camilo when he lost the job, is now coming back when she believes that the court case may be favoring him, Very ironical, right? Yeah, how does she think she will be celebrated or welcomed by the husband when she walked out the time he really needed her? The next ironical situation is that it's very ironical that Camilo is almost giving up, in despair. He doesn't find any hope in the pursuit of the case that has been running for years. Yeah. So just by the time he has got into despair, we see that Caroli pursues him on the streets and drops an envelope in which he's testifying how he made him lose the job and actually indicating how guilty he is in the whole process. So there's a light ahead when despair was coming in. Thank you. Welcome on board those who are coming. I'm so happy to have you on board. You can chat so that I know who you are, where you are at this time. Let's proceed to the next ironical situation. Again, check on page 47. You realize that it's ironical that Camilo walked on streets in 3 years, right? 3 good years. Yeah, and he never met anyone, never. However, after such a long time, he's moving this night and he sees some lights and a car comes, a lone car. It becomes very ironical, unexpected for him. On page 44, it's very ironical that when Camilo is in court, yeah, though he had upheld integrity, professionalism, and accountability, he now entertains the thought that he deserved the punishment, yeah, losing the case and facing the torment. However, the truth is he did not deserve it. Yeah, don't you find that ironical? Testifying to be guilty in what you're not, I find that ironical. Now, let's proceed to direct address, the second style that is found in this story. So when we look at page 45, what do we see? We see that during court sessions, most times there is direct address because the case is mentioned, the order is put in place, and the processing is going on. Yeah. We also see on page 46 that the author gives us declaration to give away. Yeah. When Sally is giving away and almost divorcing or separating from Camilo, she gives a direct address to him saying that she cannot stay anymore because he does not have money. They are getting hard to survive, right? Yeah, the next style is dialogue. So if you are going to check this text very well, you will see page 46 has dialogue. Camilo and Caroli are having a conversation just before he is dismissed from work. Yeah. And it shows how greedy Caroli is and the integrity Camilo has. Yeah. The other dialogue comes on page 48, Camilo responding to the order in court. When he's told to arise and say whether he's guilty or not, he stands and he does not move. And he speaks. Again, on the streets, when the lone car came by, they talk to him. He stands still, he stammers and does not move. He just says, but. Check that on page 48. Yeah, thank you, those who are on board. I really wish that some of you would chat so that I know wherever you are, and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so that we are growing together. The next is stream of conscience. Stream of conscience comes in this story. On page 47, you see that Camilo walks on the streets and he thinks about what may happen. Yeah. He hears something like a murmur or laughter. Now, page 44. Yeah. Giving a watchful glance, Camilo thinks 10:30 p.m. Time of dozen thieves, perhaps murderers, when he hears that lone car approaching. Then on page 45, what would the verdict be? He's just thinking and talking loudly about it. We have monologue again. As you've seen in Stream of Conscience, we also have a monologue, page 48. Camilo says to himself, a police car? This could not be the police. Page 44. While walking in the night, Camilo again says, hello in there. What's up tonight? What's new on the prime time? So he keeps speaking to himself. The other style is simile. There are a lot of similes in this story. On page 43, his breath sent patterns of frosty air before him, like the smoke from a factory chimney. That's a simile used there. Another one on page 43, we are told it was walking through the cemetery where only the faintest glimmers of firefly light appeared in flickers behind the windows, right? Then we have another one on page 45. After what seemed like an eternity, what seemed like a generation. Page 45, his brain, Mary Matiku, hi, I'm very happy that you chatted. Some people have been coming by, but they just go without chatting. So I'm very happy with the Mary Matitu. Welcome on board. Yeah, so his brain ran through a pasture of memories like lilies. That one is on page 45. You can check for it. Then page 44, we are told, doing so was like rubbing salt into a wound. Now let's get to onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. The sounds that suggest, suggestive sounds hidden in words that are English. Shivered is used in that story. On page 44, you'll see chattered. Then on page 44, again, whispered. In case you get more, you can add on the list. We have use of idiomatic expressions, like on page 42, we are told the hustle and bustle of the streets. Again, page 43, crystal frost. Then we have repetition. It's not in high school, but in primary school, JSS, of course, not primary. I've seen that it's being used. Yeah, so we can check on page 44, where we see repetition. He deserved punishment. He deserved to lose the case. He deserved torment. So he deserved has been used repetitively to emphasize the fact that he's giving up. Now here, I'll be giving an assignment, and of course, I'll turn my camera, obviously, to show you the notes and the question, because that is what most of the audience who watch this kind of literature ask for. Yeah, so my first question is, what event may have been left out in the story Long Way? The other question is, after reading the story, do you prefer being Caroli or Camilo? Why? The other one, I'll give you as an excerpt. Your hands up. The police? Of course not. But what a rare, incredible thing. It was unusual for a patrol to be conducted at 11 p.m. Crime in the neighborhood had decreased. There was no need for the police, save for this one lone car that was wandering the empty streets. A police car? This could not be the police, he said to himself. His instincts were never wrong. He could not resist. He slowly raised his hands and, as if to kneel, stole a glance from the direction of the shaft of the car's headlights. They were too bright for him. He was blinded. The car sped past him, dropped an envelope beside him, and sped off. Camilo hesitated, then picked up the envelope and carefully removed the seal. He peeped through the envelope and saw a letter. Yeah, so I'll be attaching at the end so that you can go through at your own pace and answer the question. So the first question after this excerpt is, what was the letter about? And whom was it from? That is 3 marks. What kind of person was Camilo as shown in the passage? Explain, 2 marks. So I've just given you 2 questions, and now it's time to turn the camera so that you can see the notes and the question. Thank you for having been on board. I'm going to have another live stream on the family, of course, on Dari family, Dimwango, yeah, Devi Jr., yeah, Mwarwa, Rosio, and all those that surround that aspect of Nyabohanze. Yeah, so let's turn to the notes. I hope you'll see this clearly. Thank you for being on board, and you can check on my other videos. Bye bye. Adios. Yeah, so I hope you've seen irony there and the illustrations. So you can move to direct address. I hope you've seen them too. Dialogue. I hope you've seen that. Stream of conscience. I hope you can see that clearly. Monologue. See that one. Simile. Onomatopoeia. Idiom. Repetition. And the activity, of course, there are so many, but I just picked the first question and number 7. Number 1 and number 7. Yeah, so guys, that's how it goes. I wish you well. Till next time. Thank you.